Hello and welcome back to Art Therapy with Jen. Today I'm working in my Dark Dystopian themed magazine collage art journal. If this is your first time tuning in to this series on my channel, each week I do a new page in the journal, which is another chapter exploring this dark dystopian world. And I'm just taking different magazine images and kind of making a theme, doing a little story with it, and I've been loving to hear your all's insights and kind of what you're seeing in the pages, because there's no right or wrong answers. We're all different. We all come from different viewpoints and just from the experiences in our life, and it's very interesting to me. So it's as much as a kind of collage, kind of art therapy, art journaling exercise, as much as it is just kind of being creative and imaginative about kind of what story you're seeing. And that's just how I come from, or kind of what my viewpoint is when I'm working with these magazine collages and this type of journal. I want to tell a story with it. It's just how my brain works. I don't know, and I have a lot of fun with it, and thank you all so much for kind of diving into that with me. So as usual, I am starting with my background. Went through my stash, picked some out, and there were just a lot of these warm goldeny toned, these dark desolate browns, and also the fire that we've seen throughout, and just all these different, I don't know if they're almost fall, maybe more into winter, but just kind of a dull brown with those hints of the like orangey fire. And then toward the bottom left we have that little sketchy looking shelter entrance with the hazard sign, and all the happy things, right? And I'm just going with my glue stick and just gluing everything down, turning things however which way I feel like, and just more building that background kind of, a color scheme for the page, and I don't know, just fun textures that play off each other. And sometimes it's kind of fun to look back on because sometimes they'll fit and go along with the story of the chapter. So let's take a look at what our background is. Really appropriate for, I guess, this time of year. Happy October, everybody. But now let's get into who our characters are for this particular chapter. And if you notice some lighting difference in between some of the clips, I do apologize. I have moved filming locations a couple of times, and sometimes I'm filming in the middle of the day, and other times it's at night. I film when I can film, and we just have fun with it. So I do apologize for that, but sometimes that is what it is. But our two focal images, or our characters, if you will, for this page, we have the girl toward the right in the trench coat that I fussy cut. And then we have this girl, this bride in this wedding gown in the back of this, I guess, kind of classic or maybe luxury, expensive type of vehicle. And I've fussy cut her, and I've also gone into the windows, and I've fussy cut the background out of the windows so that the page background is actually going to show through instead of that original paper background. Something I've really been liking doing with pictures of people riding in cars. And now I'm just playing around trying to figure out exactly how much I want to cut it down, just kind of folding the images on each other, and before I cut it to see, that's the proportion I want. Because I really didn't want to cover up my little hazard sign down there. I'm kind of attached to it, so but I'm kind of getting the vibe as I'm gluing these down. I think this is the same woman. And to the left, we have her young, kind of mysteriously whisked away in the back of a vehicle in a wedding gown. And then to the right, we have her a little bit older, a little more hardened by life, if you will, or maybe learned a lot more life experiences. And this just really long brown trench coat. So very interesting. I'm curious to see what type of words we're going to have that will give us the kind of narrative of this page. I'm just going through my big word stash, and I just pull out words and set them all around, and then just kind of intuitively pick things up as I feel they should go on this page and start a story. So starting at the upper left, we have a different kind of coming of age story. I'm almost getting the vibe this may be that blonde girl from chapter 1 that we've seen throughout different chapters, hint of. Or maybe it's somebody totally different. I don't know. Y'all tell me. There's no right or wrong answers. But I'm thinking we might see, this might be maybe her backstory of how she got where she did, and maybe the motivations behind that. And for the second bunch of words, I'm kind of Frankensteining two together. In quotes, it says, I have made a lot of mistakes falling in love and regretted most of them, but never the freedom. And I added freedom on there. What y'all think? That's interesting. And then under that, right above the car, we're going to have mysteries usually start with a woman. Or maybe I'm even getting the thought that, I don't know. Maybe this was somebody's motivation behind the whole thing. I don't know. And then on the bottom part of the car, I'm going to put inhale, exhale, prevail. Or prevail. However you say that. My accent comes out sometimes. I'm like, prevail. But that's what we have. And then under that, toward the bottom of the page, in the left corner there, we're going to have young thing. And then to finish out the page to the right of it, it's going to say collision course. Now, I almost get the vibe, too, that maybe this is someone's motivation. They, I don't know. I have to think about how to put that in thoughts or in coherent words. Like, it's in my brain, but how do we get it out? And then on the right page, up top there, we're putting the golden ticket. And then to the other corner there, we're putting leave the world behind. Interesting. And then underneath that, in just a moment, we're going to pick up, and this is in quotes as well, like someone's saying it. You don't join the circus to live a really straight and narrow life. Maybe she didn't know what she got into. Interesting. And then under that, we're going to put her seat at the table. It almost makes me wonder which side, if there are sides, that she's truly on or playing for. Or maybe both of them. I don't know. Then we have Great Escape. I still haven't decided if she's a villain or a hero yet. Or maybe she's both. Maybe she's an anti-hero. I don't know. And then to the bottom we have the art of reinvention. What do y'all think? Is this maybe something she saw her golden ticket and ran with it and then didn't truly know what she was getting into? Or maybe her golden ticket was using her, which I think she would probably be fully aware of. It was kind of a trade-off. But maybe things were much worse than she thought. But like they said, you don't really join the circus to live a really straight and narrow life. You can't have it both ways. And then I just like to go around and just add some scribbles and doodling and all that stuff. I started using a gel pen. It wasn't really showing up how I liked it. So I went into my little craft supplies and got some metallic markers out. to do some outlining with. I know I stepped away from my Sharpie. I had to give it a rest for a little bit. You know, even Sharpies deserve vacations, which I do have a bronze Sharpie there, so. But these are just different various markers, silver, bronze, gold, metallic markers. And I'm just outlining around the words. And on this one, I'm not doing it so much more in a kind of scribbly way. I'm really just trying to stick closer to the words. And then we're going to sign it. And there is the finished page. Interesting. So here's my thoughts. Again, there's no right or wrong answers because I love hearing everyone's answers, and it kind of like, ooh, but yeah, that's awesome. But I think this is something we've seen like a village destroyed or a place destroyed, kind of pilfered for resources, or maybe it's a metaphorical village. I don't know. And all this control and all these things. Is this somebody that saw an opportunity to kind of better her life and kind of made a deal with the devil, if you will, and kind of sold people out? Or was she already with the devil and she went in and kind of worked from the inside, if that makes sense? I'm not sure. Or is this someone we saw on the last page where they were kind of, we saw kind of robots and wanting, I guess, the perfect human, the perfect female, all this. Is this somebody's kind of bitterness that caused madness that led to all this? Is this somebody that they were with this woman and they found out that she had her own motivations, if you will, and she turned out to be someone that they had no idea, and they're trying to recreate their false sense of who she was in a way? Because does that make sense? Like, it's almost to the point where it drove them mad, and they're trying to recreate that in whatever way. Doesn't matter if it's devoid of logic, morals, they have to recreate that no matter what resources they use up, no matter what. I don't know. That's kind of an angle I'm seeing as well. Or maybe this woman, she took that golden ticket. She didn't really know what she was getting her, into. Knew it was going to be bad. Sold everybody out to kind of get her, come up, I guess. And when she really got into it, I don't think she realized just how much was going on or the true madness behind it. And maybe, she's moved up. She's up there, and maybe she's leaking some things out so that maybe people can eventually overthrow, but she doesn't want to give up her status. I don't know. There's all kinds of these storylines flowing in my head. Y'all know my brain just goes and goes and goes, but I had a lot of fun with it. This page has a lot more words than we usually put down, and I think it gives an important part to this story, or maybe it's a whole separate story. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Again, thank y'all so much for watching, and happy start to October. I hope it's going great for y'all. Can y'all believe it? And I will see y'all next week with chapter 13. Yes. I swear I need to go through my book and number the pages. I really do. But I will see y'all then, and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.